Aboriginal indigenous Moors are tired of foreign Albion European colonizers that feed off of the ignorance of the general population. On every occasion, and for spurious reasons, they tell lies using slanderous statements against our brothers in order to win brownie points with those who are not yet aware, and don't know law. One of the worst of them goes by the channel name of Doazic on YouTube. This video exposes his lies centered around an action filed with the Court Corporation, and against the Court Corporation on the grounds of kidnapping of a man's child. This dude Doazic takes the flaws in grammar of another Moor's written complaint, and falsely ties this everyday paperwork with crime, which is stupid, then makes a ridiculous statement that our national Grand Sheikh Taj Tarik Bey is to be persecuted for someone else's paper, which is stupid again, and defamatory. This thing can easily change his YouTube channel name, but just listen to his voice. It sounds very very shady, and this shady Doazic person must be identified for investigation. His attempt to vilify Taj is certainly an indication of the usual deceptive movement of colonizers, trolls, and corporate minions that attempt to attack the credibility of a man by snooping around to manufacture something when there is nothing with which to assassinate a man's character. Brother Taj Tarik Bey certainly does not need defending, but we have to say something to expose these decrepit lawless liars as to inform their unsuspecting listeners. It is of the opinion that this extremely disgusting and foul-smelling fart Doazic must cease and desist.
This is a couple of Moorish American sovereign citizens out of Florida who have been pretty active on YouTube and uploading a bunch of their videos and of them getting arrested and all that. This case essentially deals with, well, from what I can tell, child custody things, but what's interesting is what's at the bottom, and I'll show you that in a minute. And so there's some of the usual Moorish American things. They say, please, Odom. I haven't been able to figure out who Odom is, or what they're trying to say by Odom. Maybe someone knows. Anyway, number one, they say state and show status and nationality for the record, and only after status and nationality is stated, blah, blah, blah. So the usual status and nationality thing that Moors like to do. As for first-hand knowledge, Odom lawyers are for slaves and those who do not know the law. For only sovereign can file orders. We got some handwritten stuff.
People, please wake up. It's strongly suggested to read the Moor's complaint in its entirety for yourself instead of letting this forked-tongued dimwit rush through, and skip through the papers because he discovered how to use screen record on the internet, making these ignorant remarks to sway your thinking about people who are rightfully and lawfully enforcing and standing on human rights protected by the American Republic Constitution. It's clear to see that this Doazic thing is set out to vilify anyone that exposes the truth regarding corruption and fraud in the corrupt, failed, bankrupt injustice system. You will see in the next clip how this fool targets the Moorish national, Taj Tarik Bey, and the real reason this nutcase made his masterpiece video. He even targets Anna von Ritz, who is very well known for her works exposing unsanctioned corporate entities defrauding the people, as well as criminals acting as judges, attorneys, clerks, and child protective services human trafficking syndicates that profit from corruption.
As you can see here, one of their appeals was dismissed for non-payment of the fine.
Back up. Wait just 1 minute. He said case dismissed for non-payment of fees. By constitutional law, access to real courts is not for sale. Natural people have a right to access the court without fees. These broke sons of broccoli goons have been stealing and extorting the people. Fees are for corporations. See the following points of authority. Quote, the courts shall be open to every person for redress of any injury, and justice shall be administered without sale, denial, or delay. End quote. Authority, Florida Republic Constitution Section 21, Access to the Courts. Quote, In suits at common law, where the value in controversy shall exceed $20, the right of trial by jury shall be preserved, according to the rules of the common law. End quote. Authority: Republic Constitution for the United States of America. Amendment 7. Quote. Requiring payment of court fees and expenses as a condition precedent to obtaining court relief are unconstitutional. End quote. Authority: United States Supreme Court, Body v. Connecticut, 401 U.S. 371, 1971. Natural people are, quote, entitled to free access not only to the principal departments established at Washington, but also to its judicial tribunals and public offices in every state in the Union. End quote. Authority: United States Supreme Court, Crandall v. State of Nevada 73 U.S. 35, 1867. Quote. Constitutional rights would be of little value if they could be indirectly denied. End quote. Authority: United States Supreme Court, Chameleon v. Lightfoot, 364 U.S. 155, 1966, as cited in Authority: United States Supreme Court, Smith v. Allwright, 321 U.S. 649.644. Quote. No state shall convert a liberty into a privilege, license it, and attach a fee to it. Court clerk fee/taxes. End quote. Authority: United States Supreme Court, Murdoch v. Penn, 319 U.S. 105. Quote. Persons faced with an unconstitutional licensing law which purports to require a license permission/authorization as a prerequisite to exercise of right, may ignore the law and engage with impunity in exercise of such right. End quote. Authority: United States Supreme Court, Shuttlesworth v. Birmingham 394 U.S. 147, 1969.
N appears to have filed what appears to be a copy-paste, what do I call this? Some sort of boilerplate document from the Moorish National Republic, Federal Government, Northwest Africa, the Moorish Divine and National Movement of the world. Essentially, I guess they call it a vermin of jurisdiction, quo warranto. It has a bunch of basically, I guess we could go over it, but I'm not going to. So anyways, it's basically trying to get yourself out of the jurisdiction of the court, basically. Here's the interesting thing. The Great Seal National Association, where this guy got this from, it's from the Great Seal National Association of Moorish Affairs. Minister :A-L, Minister Taj Tarik Bey, and Minister William Salam Howe, :L. In this guy's child custody case, he's filing essentially boilerplate template documents he got from Taj Tarik Bey and apparently other people. So this is how these guys work. If you guys need proof that this is Taj Tarik Bey paperwork, this is from RV Bey Publications. Now, one of the commenters complained that yes, RV Bey Publications is not technically Taj Tarik Bey's website, but it hosts a lot of his paperwork, and Taj works with RV Bey, so it's close enough. Anyways, we can see that a lot of the a lot of the elements of Etienne's filing are contained in this what would this be called? In the paperwork sold, arguably sold and promulgated by RV Bey Publications. So you can see the header is almost the same. Some pretty similar verbiage. It's the. And by the way, a lot of these guys, a lot of the Moors like to say that, oh, they're not sovereign citizens, but let's go back to the other paper. I want to show you guys this. If you notice here, I should zoom in. If you notice here, a little bit further down. Look, if you notice here, Minister A.L. is writing his name as :A-L. Minister William Salam Howe is writing his last name as Howe, :L, which is a sovereign citizen thing they copied from David Windmiller. It doesn't do anything putting a colon or a dash in your name. And Windmiller is an extremely crazy guy. He claims that he had all his organs removed and will live forever. These are Moors taking essentially legal strategies from crazy people. And also notice that there is UCC references throughout. The UCC has no application in any of this. There is also UCC paper verbiage in the R.V. Bey file, paperwork. It says UCC 1-207, 1-308, UCC 1-103. He also calls himself a secured party creditor, a bailor, beneficiary, ex relation. Then you got the weird Connecticut territory, and a lot of the usual stuff. But yeah, we've found Taj Tarik Bey paperwork out in the wild in Florida. As long, just going to reiterate, as long as the states or the federal government doesn't prosecute people like Taj Tarik Bey for putting out this sort of fraudulent paperwork, more people like Etienne are going to end up harmed by this. This guy's trying to get his kids back with bogus paperwork. This will not work. Taj is causing real harm to people. As long as Taj doesn't get prosecuted, more people get harmed.
Enough is enough. This Doazic person is clearly ignorant of de jure law because, no matter how the Moors' paperwork was prepared, there is absolutely nothing wrong with their documents in seeking redress in accord with the First Amendment in the American Republic Constitution's Bill of Rights. Pursuant to Supreme Court points of authority, as follows. Quote, complaints are to be considered without regard to technicality, and are not to be held to the same high standards of perfection as lawyers. End quote. Jenkins vs. McKeithen, 395 U.S. 411, 421, 1959, Picking vs. Pennsylvania Arco, 151 Fed 2nd 240 and Puckett vs. Cox, 456 2nd 233. Quote. Allegations such as those asserted by petitioner, however inartfully pleaded, are sufficient. Which we hold to less stringent standards than formal pleadings drafted by lawyers. End quote. Haynes vs. Kerner, 404 U.S. 519, 1972, quote. Laws are made for men of ordinary understanding and should, therefore, be construed by the ordinary rules of common sense, end quote. Jefferson to William Johnson, 1823 Me 15:450. Don't immediately take what this fool, or people like him are saying as true without checking with de jure law first for yourself. In this case, he deliberately ignored all citations of law whatsoever. As a matter of fact, this Doazic person could be sued for defamation. There is no crime for these Moors standing on protected rights against the individuals who have taken their son, and those aiding and abetting the kidnappers, even though they sit behind a bench wearing a black robe. There is no crime for using templates and references to other documents. It's business as usual for the court corporation system to use templates for their documents in everything, down to their certificate of service. Anyone can write out their action by hand if they had to. It's sheer wishful thinking of this Doazic vermin against Grand National Sheikh Taj Tarik Bey, because no one can be persecuted for someone else's First Amendment right of redress against perpetrators, especially the seriousness of kidnapping that should be going to the International Criminal Court against all of them. This Doazic person is too ignorant to know that sovereign citizen is oxymoronic like himself. Even the title of his video tells you that he is out to lunch and attempting to defame because filed court paperwork is not just, quote-unquote, spotted in Florida. People must log on to the PACER court record system to retrieve filed cases. This Doazic person is probably violating PACER rules, and taking a risk of being penalized for trolling around and snooping into someone else's account. Whosoever reads or listens to him, report this miscreant immediately to PACER by showing his video, then they can legally find out who this thing is, and take his finances away. Maybe, that will stop him from targeting people and cyber-stalking them as a means to defame good people who are facilitators of civics that deal with the rights and duties of civilians that lack the knowledge.